Donald Trump wants his wall, and for it, he needs money. And so they've got a plan, at least for part of it, that is $3.6 billion being stripped from 127 different projects from across the country, affecting a number of different states and the politicians responsible for those states. And apparently some Republicans not necessarily happy about it. There are 10 Republican senators who are up for re-election next year, voted in support of Trump's emergency declaration, which was sort of the impetus for this. But will have funding diverted from their state. And you're seeing there Cassidy, Cornyn, Gardner, Graham, Hyde-Smith, Inhofe, McConnell, McSally, Dan Sullivan, Tom Tillis. Some of them devoted fans of the president, some not necessarily quite so much. And so some are frustrated, but even in their frustration, it's kind of weak. Mitt Romney, his state is set to lose $54 million for 2 military projects. He said he was, quote, disappointed by the decision, but he noted that funding the border wall is an important priority. So sure, if you have to mug me and my state, it's really important here. I have a little bit more money. Let's see, we have Mike Lee, who said Congress has been ceding far too much powers to the executive branch for decades, and it's far past time for Congress to restore the proper balance of power between the 3 branches. That sounds great, now do something, buddy. I don't see much action behind that necessarily. Do you see this as a potential, like the straw that broke the Republican camel's back?
I sure hope so. Like the amount of money that they're taking away, it's wild. What Martha McSally, Arizona, originally saying it'd be 30,000 and it's really gonna be about 30 million. Like, come on. These resources could be dedicated elsewhere, especially since we know that there's not a threat along the border. And just having just some kind of factual common sense here, it's just, we really need constituents to step up and to hold these members of Congress, hold them accountable.
Yeah. There's the article talks about how they have to make sure they keep things balanced. So when you're in a state, when you're supporting a madman who's doing whatever he wants, no matter what the policies are, it's not like it's a conservative, he's ever done things so conservatively for the Republican Party. So they have to support everything he does. So there's a 3-pronged system. They have to support Trump, make sure they don't look bad to him, or else he's gonna cut your head off. You have to give back to your state or make sure your state is getting what they were already promised. And then also get it done. So you have to still work with the Department of Defense and work with Democrats to actually get something done, because the money's gonna get taken from you. You have to backfill it. So you have to go through all of these hurdles to make sure that they get their job done, and then still not make the president look bad, who's a hypersensitive baby. So he can't hear you once say, yeah, I don't like this. Oh, who said I don't like this? Yeah. You can't even speak your mind. You can't be an adult. You can't be a representative of your state anymore. So you know what? I like seeing this. I like seeing the stress and the confusion come through folks who support a guy who they knew is unfit to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Once it finally hits, it's okay when it's hitting other people. Now that it's hitting me in my state, wow, this is crazy, but I can't say it out loud. Yeah. I love it.
And I mean, we saw that in the last primary contests, like the people who spoke out against Trump, they're not politicians anymore. No. I wonder how many in the House, in the Senate, how many Republican politicians are looking at his approval rating and just hoping it'll go down. Because look, they want their president to be popular, I guess. They want him to be reelected. They want Republicans to be in power. But as long as he has a chokehold on Republican voters across the country, they mean nothing. They have no autonomy. If they turn against him, they will be thrown overboard. Like, imagine being in that position. You've worked your whole life, decades, rising position to position to become a senator or a congressman, and nobody cares about you. If you turn against the former reality star, the Sharpie guy, you're done. They'll replace you in the next election. How sad is that for that party?
You know what? There's an opportunity for Democratic opponents, though, or anybody, honestly. Somebody wants to get primaried in the Republicans. I don't know which one of them are up for re-election, but there's an opportunity to point out to your state, locally, hey, this guy is supporting a president that is taking money that has already been allocated for the state to come up with these types of things. Yeah. You guys should put me in office because I'm tired of this. It provides an avenue for someone who will speak for the people, since we're talking about populists so much.
Yeah, and everybody likes members of the armed forces. And so the fact that you're taking this away from US bases, like that's enough to give me pause. And if you end up having these bases in need, or these service members in need, there's gonna be a significant outcry and there should be some problems there.
Yeah, you would think historically, that's generally one of the things you want to avoid happening. I'm personally in favor of drastically slashing the military budget, but you have to make the case for why that needs to be done. They're not making that case. They're taking the money while pretending that they support the soldiers. So let's see if we do have someone who will speak for the people. We have Senator Susan Collins, hopefully not long for the Senate, but she's still there now. So she said each of these projects was recommended by the administration, passed by both the Senate and the House, signed into law by the president, and while there is some discretion that he has to move money around, I think that his executive order exceeds his discretion. Again, the weak, like, yeah, I think, stop hitting me. I think that you're not allowed to do that, I think, and then you just
You have to say he has the right. You have to preface everything you say. Couch your criticism with, he's right though, but I understand why, and it's okay if, but, so that he won't read it directly because he won't read past the first phrase of your sentence. And she'll be like, okay, I think my criticism was buried deep enough that the dumbass didn't read it.
Yeah. And okay, so we do have someone who's fired up. They've all been really milquetoast. Mitch McConnell is angry, and he should be. Kentucky is gonna be hit nearly $63 million. And so he's fired up saying, we wouldn't be in this situation if Democrats were serious about protecting our homeland and worked with us to provide the funding needed to secure our borders during our appropriations process. Who's Trump? I don't know, it's the Democrats' fault. The Democrats did it. I mean, sure, it's Trump that's taking the money from it, and sure, I'm losing $63 million for my state.
Just be direct.
But it's probably the Democrats.
Just be direct, attack this guy and be like, you're losing $63 million for projects, and he's claiming that the Republican president is the Democratic problem. It's such an easy equation, just say it.
Yeah, but he carries Trump's water so hard. And you know what, all you want is for his constituents to see through it, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be happening so far, even though it will clearly be to their detriment.
Yeah.
Come on.
So why don't we talk about what is going to be paying for this? Just an example. So Asher, our producer, put together just a few. Remember, it's 127 different projects. And remember, this comes not that long after they gave him billions of dollars already for this earlier this year. The Democrats did. So he needs more. They're taking $400 million in Puerto Rico projects, including funding for the recovery effort after Hurricane Maria. Trump is going to be livid when he finds out about that.
I'm gonna say, that's the one thing they can skip over. They can be like, oh, it's fine, it's Puerto Rico.
Care about that.
Our constituents don't care.
See, $17 million in Florida for a fire crash rescue station. That sounds important. That's $63 million in Kentucky, Fort Campbell Middle School. Mitch McConnell's so mad about the Democrats for that. $770 million in funding for military initiatives in Europe intended to help deter Russian aggression. And the list goes on because we're talking about billions and billions of, oh, you're seeing there, military construction projects, cyber operations facility, Navy ships maintenance, hazardous materials warehouses. I am going to guess that if you have requested and been granted $41 million for the housing of hazardous materials, you need that money, okay? You don't just like, well, I guess I'll keep it at my house for a while until we get the funding we need.
Yep.
It sounds significant. All of these sound significant. And the weird thing is that while this is where the money is going to come from, I'm old enough to remember back during the campaign when he implied that someone else would be paying for it, as you'll see.
Mexico will pay for the wall.
Mexico is going to pay for it, and they'll be happy to pay for it.
The wall is going to be paid for by Mexico. They don't know it yet, but they're going to pay for the wall.
We're going to make them pay for that wall.
But they're going to pay for the wall.
Trust me, Mexico will pay for it.
And I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words. Mexico's going to pay for the wall 100%.
100%. 100%.
Who is going to pay for the wall? Who?
Who's going to pay for the wall?
Joke's on them. So 100%, he said, mark my words, and Jayar Jackson did. So that's why we've played this clip so many times. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. I mean, how is that not a, read my lips, no new taxes? Or hell, if like, let's say you're a deranged person on the right, this is a you can keep your doctor. That was 50% of the words he said during that campaign were Mexico is gonna pay for the wall. You're paying for the wall. You and everyone around you is paying for the wall, and it doesn't matter.
No, and it's weird because you just think people would understand how business and different nations work in terms of funding things that benefit other nations. It's just like, even just if we took it on a smaller scale, as an analogy, it's kind of like, I don't expect Jayar to buy me the new MAC lipstick. It's just not, it's not gonna happen.
He's gonna pay for it and he's gonna enjoy paying for it.
Yeah, it's like.
Is that available at my local Walgreens? So I can get it.
Not quite, it's cool.
So look, that's what he said. Now, a lot of time has passed. He has a slightly different explanation. Let's listen.
Just a couple of things, because I know the fake news likes to say it. When during the campaign, I would say Mexico's going to pay for it. Obviously, I never said this, and I never meant they're going to write out a check. I said they're going to pay for it. They are. They are paying for it with the incredible deal we made.
Okay, so let's ignore the fact that they don't have the deal. And even if they got the deal, it's effectively NAFTA. Let's pretend that neither of those things is true. I wish that I had the time to go around the country and interview literally every Trump supporter and ask him, when you were chanting Mexico's gonna pay for the wall, did you mean through complex long-term debt, or import-export differentials over a new free trade deal? Is that what you were chanting about, that he was gonna someday have a deal and in effect we would benefit in some way? Or did you think they were gonna write a check? Please be honest. I know you can't be honest. I know that you're pretending right now that the Sharpie thing's not weird. I know that you can't be honest about this, but please, you chanted over and over.
Well, I thought Mexico was going to pay for it intellectually, maybe something emotionally or psychologically, and that's how I see this being compensated and paid for.
I think we're paying for it emotionally and psychologically. I think that we're all paying for it.
Well, to
absolutely.
be fair to him on that last one also, Trump has never paid for anything that he said he's gonna pay for.
True?
So it all makes sense to him. He goes, I didn't really say I was gonna pay for that campaign stop in wherever, Ohio or wherever he stopped. You guys thought I was gonna pay for that?
Of course not. Look at my taxes. I don't pay for anything.
Who pays for anything?
Please.
I know that some Trump supporters will be like, well, you guys, you're getting triggered by this. Like, oh, you're paying for it, ha ha. But you are too. You are all being dragged down. I know that you can't see it. That's how normalization works. But none of these people would have thought that, and I hate to mention it again, and we're not doing a clip on it or whatever, but none of these people 2 years ago thought that someday their president lying to them by sharpieing a map is not the weirdest, craziest thing ever. And now they have to imply that. Some won't say it, they avoid the topic, but they have to pretend that that's not sad and juvenile, pathetic. For the party of the alpha male to have this pathetic of a man leading you, you can't even see yet how far you've been dragged down. Maybe in hindsight, maybe in a few years, you can look back and you'll have a politician who is worthy of at least a little bit of respect, someone who's not this pathetic grub-like creature. But he has dragged you down. I know that you think we're being triggered or he's trolling us. He's really trolling you. Yep. We're the distraction, you're the victim.
You have to speak to them in terms they'll understand. Trump walked into your house, he slapped your child, he robbed you, and then tied you and your wife up and made you look like a-holes, and then left with all of your money. You didn't have a gun ready. Your Second Amendment rights were subverted. Just give them this visual of him robbing you for money that you didn't want to give to him because he lied to you and came in and violated your space. And you didn't get to shoot him like you really wanted to. The way he has lowered the conversation to who? Mexico, who? That's where we're at. It's like a football game. I've said it 100 times.
I love that you say that because you're absolutely right. That's how sports goes. It's the us, them setup. And that's what he's playing off of. Everyone's ignorance in terms of us and them. And people are so busy thinking, hey, this is a game in some way that they're not seeing that they're getting robbed.
Yeah.
Last night, the Bears and Packers played. There was a pass interference call. You know who didn't think there was a pass interference call on the Bears? Every Bears fan.
Yep.
They said, no, that wasn't pass interference. I just saw it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and the bizarre thing is everyone that engaged in those chants at the Trump rally is like, Mexico's gonna pay for it. I hate identity politics.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.